What is this? This is Hassan in 30 years. His critical base theory. A suit that fits properly couldn't be Hassan. Okay, how about you fuck yourselves, okay? You little shits. You little fucking little shits in this community. I'm sick and tired of you fucking dunking on me on the timeline, okay? God damn it, dude. I'm getting enough hate from every fucking corner of the internet. I don't want to hear it from my community as well. I'm just kidding. It's pretty funny. Fuck you, though. No, the Tesla video was the Tesla hitting a fucking bump or something in the middle of the road and then literally catching on fire, like insane. Yeah, and I don't know if the people in the car were if the car survived or not, but it looked like they might not have survived actually. Tesla does famously you know, put you under an NDA and just like dump money into you. I don't know if they did that or something, but no one died in the Tesla thing. It's the same. If it's the same video, car literally exploded, shooting battery cells up to 90 feet. Anyway, remember when I covered the fucking drone strike, the last drone strike that the United States conducted before they fucking left Afghanistan in the aftermath of the ISIS-K bombing that happened at Kabul airport? And even before I knew that there were casualties. There were like children. They killed like 7 children. I was reporting on it, and no one in the fucking media was like, for some weird reason, talking about the child casualties. I thought it was rather strange. And then the New York Times did a brilliant piece of investigative reporting, and found out that no, the fucking main guy that they killed, the one guy that they killed, the one adult that they killed, turns out, not surprisingly, is not even a fucking ISIS member. How many of these attacks that have occurred in how many of these drone strikes that Obama and Donald Trump engaged in Afghanistan and Iraq actually led to just random civilians being collateral damage? How many? So many of them. The answer is nearly all of them. So many of them, for the record. There aren't that many terrorists. There are that many fucking civilians. So just remember that. The conservative estimation is 72,000 civilians died over the course in Afghanistan alone. 72,000 civilians died in Afghanistan alone. Yeah. And he wasn't a fucking ISIS member. And he was just simply a humanitarian aid worker. Like, he was literally an aid worker. He did not have bombs in his fucking car. There was no secondary explosion. They lied about everything. And now they're forced to admit it because of the actual good news reporting. He got murdered. His entire family, like an entire generation of his family, wiped out. 7 children, babies, wiped out for the crime of driving a Toyota Corolla. That's false. Where are you getting that information? That's flat out not true. What information? Everything I said. Oh, the 70K? The number ranges from 40,000 to 62,000 to 72,000. They say 47, but I've seen literally everything from 40,000 to 60,000 to 72,000. We will never know. We will never know what the true number is, by the way. And here's why. My man said flat out false. We will never know the true number of individuals that have died in the Afghan occupation. And the only reason why we will never know that is because they can't account for it. They never accounted for it. In the Obama era, at least, in the Brown, I think it was a Brown study. Yes, the 72 or 70,000 number comes from the Brown study, maybe. But yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The Afghanistan war death toll. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Listen. Wow, what a huge difference. Yeah, I know. The reason why we will never know what the actual number is because while the Obama administration, like, at least reported the conservative estimations, okay, at least the Obama administration reported the conservative estimations, the Trump administration completely stopped it. Like, they literally had no transparency on civilian casualties of drone strikes. And by the way, these are the correctly classified as non-insurgent, non-combatant civilians. So just remember that. When we talk about like how many fucking terrorists that they killed, 51,000 Taliban and other opposition fighters, ridiculous. Okay? Fucking ridiculous. But here are the key findings from the Brown report. As of April 2021, more than 71,000 Afghan and Pakistani civilians have been estimated to have died as a direct result of the Afghan occupation. Sorry, I was off by 1,000, chat. Hey, chatter, are you happy? Is that okay? Do you find this qualification to be apt? And once again, we don't know. We don't actually fucking know. Every number that you will arrive at is going to be a conservative estimation, because we will never know the true number of casualties. And the only time that the Obama administration ever apologized is when they accidentally killed. I mean, they apologized when they bombed Kunduz, a hospital, a Doctors Without Borders hospital, and they apologized when an Italian man and a French man died. And that's it. We didn't hear 71,000 apologies from the Obama and Trump administration. Okay? And the Bush administration. We did not hear that. Because they don't give a fuck. The American government is careless when it comes to its own citizens on U.S. soil. Think about the way that the American government and the American police force treats its own citizens, especially when they're poor or especially when they're black or brown. Oh, someone wrote an article. If Obama apologized for one civilian drone victim every year, it would take him 3 years. Because he expressed regret for 2 Western hostages held by Al-Qaeda and accidentally killed in an anti-terrorist operation. Are civilian deaths from the U.S. carelessness or intentional? Bit of column A, bit of column B, my friend. Bit column A, bit column B. It's both. They don't care, but that carelessness is kind of intentional. It's terrorism. What America does, what the American government does with respect to their foreign imperialist attitude and their strategy is terrorism. And it's very successful. Do you understand? It's a very successful form of terrorism because no one considers it terrorism unless you're literally like a fucking Afghan civilian, but you have no voice. You're nothing on the planet. Western media only uses you as a mouthpiece when you say stuff like, I don't want to be fucking oppressed by the Taliban. And then they forget about it immediately afterwards. Okay? Yeah, the Obama administration has bombed funerals and weddings regularly. I mean, same with the Trump administration. So it's not a fucking real, like, it's not a real concern. It's never been a real concern. It's absolutely awful. And we are going to start off and talk about that. Why is that important to know your pilot's sexual preference? It's not. It's called pink washing. It's a way to like, it's a way to market the military as if it's not a fucking death machine. And be like, look at how tolerant we are. IDF does it regularly. IDF is the king of like pink washing and green washing their violently oppressive apartheid police military force that is routinely engaging in war crimes. Anyway, so yeah, I did see the Minnesota reaching pouches. I already fucking literally, I posted this on my Instagram, but our troopers, along with several law enforcement agencies across the state, want to make it easier for drivers to store information and for law enforcement to see when motorists are reaching for documents. It's like they're basically saying, we're not going to train ourselves to not murder you. It's actually on you. Because guess what? You think we'll like, learn de-escalation? No, that's some pussy shit. That's not what we do. We're the cops. We are an unstoppable force. Like, I love treating the police force like it's a naturally occurring phenomena in the wild. Like, oh, you just died by cop? Oh, fuck it. That's just how it is. It's kind of on you, man. You didn't use one of our clear pouches. Insanity. So, first of all, you bet your fucking ass they're still going to murder someone even if they're reaching for just this. Secondly, so that's number one. Two, what is it? Like, the expectation is going to be that, like, everyone simply has to have these fucking pouches or else, I guess they're just reaching for a gun. Like, what's up? And by the way, this is not even a new thing. I've talked about this before. I've actually covered this before. There are similar like defensive driving. You know how there's like defensive driving courses? There are courses specifically for black folk where they teach you to put your hands through the fucking steering wheel when a cop stops you. Like what to do when a cop stops you. Like defensive, I forget what they're called, but it's like, you know, how to deal with a police officer, like, you know, without getting murdered. Like that's basically the course. And you already know this, but like if you're black, you already know this. Like your parents probably had a conversation with you about this, regardless of like what to do when you're a black person being pulled over by the cops. But on top of that, there are like prevention courses that cops fucking teach. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's insane to me that like cops are like, yeah, we're aware. We're just going to fucking murder you. Sorry. So here, just do, you know, do this like the course to make sure that like we don't execute you because we get fucking scared. That's cap. Where'd you hear about the black course? Is a POC? They never gave me an extra course on how to not die while getting stopped. Is a POC? Okay, if you're not black, then maybe your parents did not have this conversation with you, nor did you ever hear about it. But the course that I'm talking about was like, I forget where it was. I covered it like back in the day at TYT. My man just like dropped it as a POC. I am black, dummy. Okay, well, I don't know why the fuck your parents did not have this conversation with you, but I doubly don't fucking understand why you would come in here and question me for some shit that you don't know about. You know what I mean? Here, well, let's find it. Training course on what to do on traffic stops. Instructing African American drivers on how to survive police traffic stops. This is just the National Black Caucus of State Legislators. This isn't it. I need to fucking figure this out, dude. God damn it. I wish I could find the fucking article that I didn't read an article about it, but I did shoot a video back in the day. But the point is, how is this different than a race car? If your parents aren't having that conversation, you probably live in a privileged ass place, and then even then I'm surprised you haven't heard it. Yeah. They are called Why'd You Stop Me? Oh, is that what it was called? So there are courses. Oh, it's a non-profit organization. I don't think this is what I'm talking about though. But I mean, I guess this is kind of that. But yeah, this is one of the non-profit organizations, which is a stated goal of decreasing acts of violence between police and the public. It conducts programs to dispel misconceptions about police, as well as train officers to better understand community issues. Wait, this isn't it. No. The program that I'm talking about is literally a program where like cops come in and fucking train you. They train you on like what to do. Why'd you stop me? Target numerous audience. Wait, what? Pentagon just admitted to killing 10 civilians and 0 terrorists in the drone strike you talked about a few days ago. Finally, they admitted. Yeah, I know. Don't panic. Texas Education Agency sends instructions on police interaction curriculum.
The Education Act passed on the 85th legislature.
Okay, please go faster because I am running late. I will not. I'm going as fast as. Please, just go through the light. Just don't let that light turn red. Okay, fine. I think we're getting pulled over. What? Are you serious? Yes. Oh no. Obviously, if I go over the speed limit, we're gonna get pulled over.
Oh, come on, dude. Black cops with literally like the least targeted group, dude. Like young blonde white women with black cops. Like, come on, dude. Yeah, this is the these are the people that definitely get murdered all the time by cops for routine traffic stops. What the fuck is this, bro? Are you kidding me?
Pastor, put your hands on the dash. Pastor,
ma'am,
put your hands on the dash.
Thank you. As if young women aren't sexually assaulted on fairly regular basis. What? That's what your takeaway is from this? What the fuck? You know who this program is dedicated to. It's the exact opposite role reversal, but they specifically chose black cops and chose, like young white girls that are being pulled over. Woman creates program to show new black drivers how to handle traffic stops. Yeah, this has been done a million times over, and they fucking work with cops to do that too. Anyway, but you know, this is obviously the reason why I went on this endeavor here is to show you that like it's a very commonplace thing that takes the responsibility away from the cops that should just perhaps, you know, change their training strategy and, you know, have some accountability so that they stop fucking murdering people. But instead of doing that, they're like, nah, we'll just teach citizens. We'll just teach citizens how not to get murdered by our cops by like, yeah, just like recycling and corporations. It's our job to do all the work, not theirs. Exactly. Like, take it easy on these fucking corpos, man. Take it easy on these corporations. You guys are being fucking meanies. You're being a big meanie bobini, and I don't like it. Like, corporations are doing their best. Cops are doing their fucking best. Like, what you're supposed to do is take some goddamn responsibility and not get murdered. You know, cops can't control themselves. They have these urges. They have to murder. They have to murder you on a fucking regular traffic stop because they believe you did not use your turn signal. I mean, come on. They have all of these fucking guns and shit. They have to use them. Come on, guys. Can we just let cops get a couple murders in? Oh, God. So basically, this is, you know, this is fucking gross. But it is what it is. Cops have a quota of murders they need to meet. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why people are making a big deal out of this. Come on, we got to do population control, guys. Chill. Speaking of cops, though, while we're on the fucking Blue Lives Matter tip, this child was lost. So this is the National Fraternal Order of Police. It's part one of the fucking story. I just want to show you, you know, on our ACAB series, back to some ACAB shit. Lord forgive me, I'm on my ACAB tip. This child was lost during the violent riots in Philadelphia. Violent riots, boys. You know, the violent riots in Philadelphia. Those violent black folk that were rioting in Philadelphia. Wandering around barefoot in an area that was experiencing complete lawlessness. By the way, they're not fucking talking about when, you know, when the Birds win, okay? They're not talking about the violent riots during the Eagles. They're talking about BLM riots. BLM protests. Okay? Anyway, the only thing this Philadelphia police officer cared about in that moment was protecting this child. We are not your enemy. We are the thin blue line, and we are the only thing standing between order and anarchy. That's crazy, man. Oh, shit. The city of Philadelphia will pay $2 million to a black woman who was pulled from a car, beaten by officers, and had her toddler used for social media fodder by the police union, officials say. What? That's crazy. We at Mincy Fitzross are proud to speak on behalf of our clients in this horrific incident, and we're not done yet. Yeah, they want they got their client $2 million, largest in Philadelphia history, after the Philadelphia cops attacked and beat a healthcare worker mom, stole her 2-year-old deaf son from the car, and then fucking posted about it on social media. That's right.
I will never forget what those officers did to us that night.
It was October 27, 2020. In this cell phone video, you see Philadelphia police officers smash the windows of Rakia Young's car.
The officers then violently yanked Ms. Young and her nephew from the vehicle and physically beat her and him in the street, causing significant injuries. Ms. Young's son was also pulled from the vehicle by the Philadelphia police officers and taken away from his mother.
What happened to her was unconscious.
Shit's in fucking 4K too. Like, I'm sorry, but did you stand for a moment and consider that she was, you know, she was just being Antifa? You know, if you guys say healthcare, well, Antifa has healthcare too. She was probably violently trying to give medicine to the people. She was tactically driving over to the protest riot zone to give other violent Antifa BLM terrorists the aggressive healthcare. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the car was black. Very threatening presence. At 0900, one of my officers decided to give an ocular pat down to what you see right here is a black vehicle, very threatening vehicle. We had to do what we had to do. Please don't let a few bad apples, which is the entirety of the fucking police force, as you can see right here, ruin the good nature of our police force. When we kidnapped this baby tactically from the back of the car after beating the shit out of the fucking mom, we decided, you know, it's time to do a good social media post. You got to know. As you can see, we tactically ascertained that this baby itself was also black. Important to note here, the baby was black. And not only that, but was wearing camouflage. This is known as the garb of BLM Antifa terrorists. So we had to separate the baby, a child soldier, if you will, from the parent. You know, I hate somebody who takes me your Southern police accent is fucking hilarious. Thank you. So yeah, we then subsequently found the hottest cop we could and made her hold the baby that we had kidnapped. As you can see, I'm saying baby because it's the common vernacular, but you know, that was a 7-year-old adult man. I forgot to mention that it's, you know, there's no such thing as like black kids. There are only 14-year-old adults and 7-year-old men in the eyes of cops too. It's so disgusting, dude. I don't know what else to fucking say about this. It's just like so awful and
should
gross.
never happen to any citizen in the city, and officers involved were being disciplined, and we had to pay up for what it is that happened to her.
The city will pay $2 million to settle any claims. Philadelphia police tell us 2 officers were fired.
Folks, we can't defund the police because, you know, yeah, a lot of that budget goes to when they do shit like this, okay? When people are fortunate enough to be able to fight back through the legal system, you know, where are those settlements? Where do you think your tax dollars are going? They're going to the settlements.
14 others are now awaiting disciplinary hearings.
However, this
two officers? What about the 60 that fucking stormed the car, dude? Oh, I'm glad that, you know, 2 have been disciplined out of the, and only 14 more. Oh, got it. And the only reason why we have that is because someone fucking filmed it, dude. Those were the bad apples. Well, you know how that saying goes. Like, a couple bad apples do spoil the bunch. You know what I mean? So, the entire fucking bunch is rotten to the core. Bro, stop over-exaggerating. It was like 30. Shit, I'm sorry, man. It was like 30 fucking Nazi Gestapo hot dog dipshits that were brutally and mercilessly pulling a black woman out of her fucking car and beating the shit out of her and then kidnapping her child
5 months
only to take a fucking photo with the child for social media that continued to dehumanize not only the mother but others that look like her by considering what the cops were doing not to be a riot, but instead the reaction to what the cops were doing to be a riot. Thank you. Sorry, how could I have said 60? It was just 30, I guess.
Not in the story.
It continues with a lawsuit filed by Rakia Young and her attorneys against the National Fraternal Order of Police. The NFOP posted this picture to social media of Rakia Young's son in the arms of an officer that night with a caption that reads in part, "This child was lost during the violent riots in Philadelphia, wandering around barefoot. We are the only thing standing between order and anarchy."
All of this was done.
I hate the few bad apples argument because if that were true, why is police brutality still continuing? It's not real. It's a fucking way to... It's an incredibly gross and calculated way to try to shift the blame or the responsibility away from the structural design of the police force that literally is created for these sorts of outcomes. Okay? Back to like a couple bad cops. And by the way, those fucking couple bad cops are never bad cops either. They're just misunderstood, okay? It's literally just a way to deflect responsibility away from the entirety of the fucking police force when the entirety of the police force is rotten to its fucking very core. I'm sorry. You can be a good person and you can be a cop separately from that. Many are not, but there could be some. Some could have even joined the police force with honorable intentions. But ultimately, you can't be a good person while in the process of wearing the badge and being a cop. That's just the fucking reality. Why? Because there are plenty of unjustifiable laws that you have to fucking uphold, okay? Before we even get to the fucking attitude, before we even get to the culture in the police force, before we get to the fucking training that is like brutal, the occupying military force mentality that is like pummeled into your fucking skull when you're at the police academy, before you feel like you're constantly in a fucking combat zone, before we get to any of that, there are still plenty of unjustifiable fucking laws, and you have to uphold them as a part of your job. There it is. Okay? That's the reality. And that's precisely why people say ACAP. because you can be a good person otherwise. Okay, you know, it's unlikely, but you know, you can be a good person otherwise, but you can't be a good person while in the process of being a fucking cop. Very rarely are there stories where like a cop does the fucking right thing. More often than not, when the cop does the right thing, like not shoot someone who is clearly suicidal, for example, they get fucking fired. Okay? The easiest way for a cop to get fucking fired is when they're doing the right thing and not doing the cop thing. Okay?
1 week before a contested national election in order to advance the political interests of the NFOP.
For them to portray me as this type of mom who wouldn't know or care what her child was while chaos was happening, all around was very hurtful.
As for the officers involved, Rikia Young and her attorneys want the district attorney to prosecute them.
What kind of charges do you want the district attorney?
He will. He will. One of the fucking few district attorneys in this country that will actually do that, by the way, for the record. I just want to point that out. So, you know, we'll see.
To file against these officers.
Aggravated assault, recklessly endangering.
Larry Krasner is the district attorney, and he actually is. I mean, a lot of people criticize him too, of course, because like he's a fucking DA still. But he is one of the few district attorneys that is actually progressive. Okay, so I look forward to him continuing this assignment.
Another person, simple assault. This was nothing more than an attack that would be perpetrated by any random street thug.
Can you touch on the only thing between order and anarchy bit as if the whole thing between sanity and madness, as though people have zero goodwill? Well, when you're a fucking cop and all you see is violence and you're a fucking violent hog, you probably expect others to be as fucking violent as you are, you know? That's why they have that. It's pure projection, I think. I would suspect that cops saying that, they're doing a little bit of self-report. Now, I will clear up a very common misconception for the record. I will clear up a very common misconception, which is that, like, well, black people like cops and blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, yeah, no, everyone just wants order, okay? Everyone wants order. But the presence of cops in a lot of black neighborhoods and in a lot of brown neighborhoods, unfortunately, is a presence of disorder and lawlessness, okay? Cops don't create an environment of law and order in lower income communities and in marginalized communities. They operate like a fucking occupying force. It's basically impossible for you to comprehend this if you've never talked to someone, or if you haven't studied this, or if you haven't lived it, okay? That's the problem. So when people say like we want we want fucking reform in the police force, we want to defund the police so we can fund the actual problems that create crime. We want to defund the police so we can actually fund social safety nets and also social workers and programs that actually help in a non-violent way and respond in a non-violent way. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about, like, please let us have a unit that also creates a presence of law and order in our communities as well, rather than the fucking opposite. Okay? It's such a bummer. You are a virulent racist. You do such amazing advocacy against the oppressors and for the community. Yeah, it's just because it's so I can sneak my racism later down the line. That's why I do it. You know, that's a common misconception, is that like no, that person is joking, chat. They're making fun of the fucking barbs that literally say that all the time, or have been saying it for the past couple of days. Yeah, I was gonna say, I have a relative in Philly PD, and he hates Krasner, which is pretty great when talking about a DA. Exactly. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, folks. If fucking cops despise your DA, that's a good DA. Yeah. I love earning the trust of black people and like regularly fucking doing anti-racist agitprop and trying to educate as many people as I can with by using my privilege, my white passing privilege for good, only so I can just be racist. That's the main reason. Like, it hasn't happened yet, but like, you know, that's the goal ultimately. That's why I do this. You guys, it's the long con. Yeah. Instead of just being racist, which is literally how so many people make their money, and so much more money, like unimaginable amounts. Like if I was anyway, I'm not going to get into it further. Yeah. It turns out you could be a fucking white supremacist, and as long as you say like I rock with Nicki Minaj, like the fucking free thinkers in the Barb community will you know rock with you. Okay. There's a new CIA recruitment video that's apparently devious. The real devious lick is when the CIA does recruitment videos.
You want to use your foreign language skills for something meaningful, something bigger than yourself. The CIA is the perfect place to make this happen.
Here, your talents make it possible for us to safeguard the national security of America through the collection and production of critical foreign intelligence for the president and senior policymakers.
When I come to work each day, I know that I'm contributing to a mission greater than myself.
야가바루 바루스키.
나는 한국말 할 수 있습니다.
أنا أتكلم العربية.
So, if you have a strong foreign language fluency, you might be wondering, where do I fit in at the CIA? You could systematically collect and evaluate foreign media and publications for open source intelligence as an open source collection officer.
Another great fit would be a foreign language instructor, where you would help CIA officers learn the foreign language skills and cross-cultural awareness they need to effectively conduct clandestine operations while living abroad.
You could also be a targeting analyst. In this role, you would be producing a range of sophisticated targeting intelligence products, as well as analytic support for U.S. policymakers, senior military officials, and law enforcement agencies for various threats to U.S. national security.
Or you could serve in the Directorate of Operations, where you could help with the clandestine collection and dissemination of intelligence from human sources. This means you would be directly involved with some of the most sensitive work this nation performs. DO language officers produce high-quality, accurate, and timely translations, interpretations, and other language-related support, as well as cultural expertise to clandestine operations.
No matter what professional path you choose, a career in the CIA will give you a unique role in keeping not only the United States, but the world safer.
You have a lot of career choices in the CIA. Now the only question is,
where do you want to serve?
Dude, think about it. The clandestine operations, I mean, they're the world police, baby. They're just... Have you ever fantasized about arming and educating some of the most violent militias who will go out and do untold amounts of horrific war crimes? Do you speak Spanish? Well, the CIA is the place for you. That's right. Have you ever thought about translating the Quran to unique languages that weirdly say stuff like or have you ever thought about writing up first grade education material and putting USSR soldiers in the math textbooks as, you know, bombs and enemy targets to kill? Would you like to take your would you like to take your knowledge of the Dari, Pashtun, Farsi, and numerous other languages to start making textbooks that will be utilized inside of Pakistani madrasas? Thanks, Hassan. I'm joining the CIA. I'm going to be a state-funded terrorist now. My current U.S. foreign policy poll professor worked for the CIA for 10 years and was assigned to Afghanistan. She was promoted to the National Security Council. Oh, Jesus. Got blood on her hands, dude. Perspective. Natural immunity to COVID is powerful. Policymakers seem to be afraid. What? I'm doing my part. Basically teaching people not from America to use their native language for America to use against them. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like, that is what the CIA uses their interpreters for. Like, this is not even what I was talking about is very specific. The CIA regularly translated Qurans, like some of the first Qurans that were ever translated to, I guess, Pashtun, is that or Dari, is it Dari? Like, some of the first Qurans that were ever translated were translated at the direction of the CIA to be used inside of the Wahhabist madrasas in Pakistan. Okay, so that's one. And two, Pashto, yeah. And two, the CIA literally wrote textbooks to be used inside of those madrasas that featured like fucking Russian soldiers and bombs and like Russian helicopters as like enemy combatants. And that's how they learned fucking math and shit. Let's go. These are both things that are still used, by the way, to this day. That's how the CIA was utilizing translators at the time. That's not even a joke. Can you name something that the CIA has done that's bad? Seems like you're grasping at straws. Yeah. From US, the ABCs of Jihad. In the twilight of the Cold War, the United States spent millions of dollars to supply Afghan school children with textbooks filled with violent images and militant Islamic teachings, part of the covert attempts to spur resistance to the Soviet occupation. The primers, which were filled with talk of jihad and featured drawings of guns, bullets, soldiers, and mines, have served since then as the Afghan school system's core curriculum. Even the Taliban used the American-produced books, though the radical movement scratched out human faces in keeping with its strict fundamentalist code. As Afghan schools reopen today, the United States is back in business of providing school books, but now it is wrestling with the unintended consequences of its successful strategy of stirring Islamic fervor to fight communism. What seemed like a good idea in the context of the Cold War is being criticized by humanitarian workers as a crude tool that steeped the generation in violence. From the WAPO, not biased at all, the fact that they were able to write this in 2002 is insane to me. And the only reason why I say that is because at the time, shit like this was never even talked about. Literally, the entire mainstream media was gung-ho as fuck about going into war with Afghanistan and Iraq. If anything, it's literally the opposite of biased. It's like this is the least biased piece of reporting I've seen from that era. Anyway, the White House defends the religious content, saying the Islamic principles permeate Afghan culture and that the books are fully in compliance with U.S. law and policy. Legal experts, however, question whether the books violate a constitutional ban on using tax dollars to promote religion. Brother, we already do that here in America, okay? And we certainly are doing that. We're doing that to white Americans, okay? Why the fuck wouldn't they do that to brown people? I mean, come on. Organizations accepting funding from the U.S. Agency for International Development. Ooh, this is the spiciest WAPO article I've ever read, dude. U.S. aid must certify that U.S. CIA aid, by the way. This is why I always say U.S. aid is an operating, it's basically just another arm of the CIA. Must certify that tax dollars will not be used to advance religion. The certification states that aid will finance only programs that have a secular purpose. Aid-financed activities cannot result in the religious indoctrination of the ultimate beneficiaries. The issue of textbook content reflects growing concern among U.S. policymakers about school teachings in some Muslim countries in which Islamic militancy and anti-Americanism are on the rise. A number of government agencies are discussing what can be done to counter these trends. President Bush and First Lady Laura Bush have repeatedly spotlighted the Afghan textbook in the recent weeks. Last Saturday, Bush announced during his weekly radio address that the 10 million U.S. supplied books being trucked to Afghan schools would teach respect for human dignity instead of indoctrinating students with fanaticism and bigotry. I love that, like, the American, even in an instance where the American government is, like, admitting that they did this, there's still chatters who are like, well, that's WAPO, so it's biased, brother. That's WAPO. It's biased on behalf of Jeff Bezos, approximately 10 years before Jeff Bezos even bought it. That's right. You know what I mean? WAPO, more like WAPoop. Anyway, so that's a fun little trip that we took aside from that. A U.S. Marshal Service Jackson, Mississippi officer was caught on camera assaulting a handcuffed black man. The U.S. Marshal Service is looking into an incident involving a member of their task force. What? That's crazy. Wait, do you mean to tell me that the U.S. Marshals are fucking racist pieces of shit? Hold on. Wait. I mean, a lot of you are young, but I'm old enough to remember that last year, Donald Trump used the U.S. Marshal Force to assassinate a dude who was Antifa. Do you guys remember? When Donald Trump openly fucking bragged about using the U.S. Marshals to assassinate the fucking dude, Michael Raynal, in Portland, who shot and killed a Proud Boy. Michael Rennell. I do not remember that in particular. What the fuck do you mean you don't remember it in particular? You were there. You were here probably. Bro, how the fuck do you guys not remember this, dude? You know, I mean, I don't really fault you for it, to be honest, because it's like, I mean, here it is. Here's a video of Trump bragging about U.S. Marshals killing an American citizen. You know, for those of you who are like, that's crazy. Like, that would never happen.
Portland so bad. That one would take 15 minutes to set. 15 minutes. And the man that shot another innocent man, this was an innocent man shot, killed.
What he's talking about is like a fucking Proud Boy white supremacist that was killed because he was bear macing motherfuckers in the middle of a crowd in Portland. He was shot by a leftist counter protester who was providing security for the leftists there.
Instantly killed. I said, what happened? Well, we haven't arrested him 2 days, 3 days went by. We sent in the U.S. Marshals. Took 15 minutes, it was over. 15 minutes, it was over. We got
him. He literally is flexing that he murdered someone, dude.
But it's okay because
and I remember at the time, like, Obama violated due process and assassinated Americans, so I don't know why some people are surprised Trump was at least as bad. Yeah, no, 100%. Like,
5 months smart.
Yeah, it's the same energy. It's the same vibes.
They knew who he was. They didn't want to arrest him. And
Vice literally did an interview with this guy, and then 2 days later, the president assassinated him. Freedom fries are coming back. France has recalled its ambassadors to the U.S. and Australia. Its foreign minister says Australia's cancellation of a contract to buy French conventional submarines in favor of the nuclear-powered subs built with U.S. technology is unacceptable behavior. Oui. And we will do everything we can to... We will do everything we can in our power to stop and help Quebec now. Vive la libre Quebec! France does not approve of your accent. Well, guess what? That does not matter. Merde! It does not fucking matter! Because we are no longer doing diplomatic relations with France. Oui. Someone said, well, we are about to do the Louisiana repurchase. I am a francophone. I mean, I had nukes in general, but this seems like an extreme reaction. France said last Friday that it was immediately recalling its ambassadors to the US and Australia after Australia scraps the big French conventional submarine purchase in favor of nuclear subs built with US technology. Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said in the written statement that the French decision I spit on you on request from the President Emmanuel Macron is justified by the exceptional seriousness of the announcements made by Australia and the United States. He said Wednesday's announcement of Australia's submarine deal with the United States is unacceptable behavior between the allies and partners. That is right. Unacceptable. You were supposed to buy our war machines, not the Americans. Oui. Je ne parle pas français. It's kind of funny, though, that they're just, like, butthurt that... I love that they're butthurt, not because of, like, nuclear subs or anything like that. And the nuclear subs are going to have conventional weapons, okay? They're just powered by nuclear, but they're conventional weapons. But yeah, France is just fucking mad that like they couldn't get the bag. You know what I mean? How could Australia do this to us? What the fuck? You are supposed to buy our submarine, not the American. Okay? Earlier Friday, a top French diplomat spoke of le crisis in relation with the US. Le diplomat, who spoke anonymously in line with the customary government practice, said that for Paris, this is a strategic question concerning the very nature of the relationship between Europe and the United States about the Indo-Pacific strategy. He would not speculate on the effects of the situation would have on France's relationship with the U.S. He said, there's a crisis. Accent is slowly improving. Actually, thank you. Oui. There is a... What is very unacceptable was the fact that we had the oui baguettes in form of the submarine. And the baguette is the most important French culture. We had the French baguette. And they said, no, we want American baguette. If you do not buy the French baguette-shaped submarine, we will show you how angry we are by doing absolutely nothing. The fuck are they gonna do, bro? I mean, seriously. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, American submarines, French submarines, like, I literally don't care. I don't. It's just.
Asshole.
How about no submarines? Okay, why the fuck does Australia need submarines? Well, I do know why they need submarines. They want to, you know, increase. They want to beef up the security in the Indo-Pacific area. You know, against China. Yeah. What's France gonna do, bro? They're gonna take the Statue of Liberty back. Is that what they're gonna do? Or are they gonna smoke cigarettes extra hard? We are so mad. What are you gonna do, bro? You gonna surrender? Like, if there's gonna be a Cold War II electric boogaloo, France is like, you need to do it with the French baguette submarines, not the American bullshit. Hassan, I'm a French frog, and as much as I hate you for it, I admit this accent is so good. J'approuve, bravo. Thank you, my friend. Like, the funniest thing is, like, French people are so fucking brutal and so revolutionary to their own. But when it comes to, like, foreign policy, they're like, we are not participating in it. We are too busy burning our own fucking city. Because of a 5% increase in taxation. Which, by the way, much love, you know? I mean, or they're like, 7 Muslim immigrants came into the city. It's time to blow it up now. It's time to... It's time to revolt. Every fucking weekend, dude. You're just mad that Americans are incapable of doing a proper revolution? I mean, yes, I agree. Yeah, Ton accent is de la merde. No, your accent is de la merde. Fuck you. He was trying to do a French retreat joke that I've done already. France is ungovernable, though. That's the difference. I agree. The only time that the French can fucking unify on anything is when they're like, you know, Muslims should not be in our spaces or something, you know? So anyway, but going back to this, this fucking psychopath. Was caught on... Oh shit, that's so loud. So I wanted to show this to you. I should have given you a trigger warning, and I'm sorry. I wanted to show this to you for 2 reasons. Well, one, because everyone wanted me to fucking watch this for some reason. But the reason why I'm showing this to you is because this is precisely how American military treats people that they capture overseas. Way worse than this. They fucking stab them, they kill them, they murder them. And this is what I always go back to. It's white supremacy in the exact same way. This right here is white supremacy here domestically. Okay? And white supremacy overseas is the exact same kind of carelessness and the exact same kind of malicious negligence and overall cruel attitude that they have towards oppressed peoples that they subjugate to chains, enslave, hurt, harm, and treat like less than human. And of course, because of the wonderful American imperialist foreign policy and our fucking, you know, economy's over-reliance on selling weapons of war, now our domestic police force looks exactly like the fucking foreign police force in the U.S. military. I can't wait to see how the Chuds spin this. They will spin it probably. I mean, he's being arrested, so I suspect that he has a criminal record or something at least. So they will just use his criminal record and be like, he one time actually didn't pay for a parking ticket, so he deserves to be punched that way. You guys are just pussies. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, yeah, U.S. Marshals being fucking dog shit animals. What else is new? Matt Rosendale, representing the state of Montana, came out with a fire Twitter thread. Banger alert, chat. Today I learned that 75 refugees from Afghanistan will be arriving in Montana. I strongly oppose the resettlement of these Afghan nationals in Montana. Yeah, guess what, dude? Here's what I'm going to say about this. Me too, motherfucker. Why are you subjecting Afghan citizens, after all of the fucking hurt and harm that you caused them, to living in fucking Montana? Okay? Yeah. Don't send him to Montana. Fuck this guy. 75 people, bro. 75 brown people coming into Montana. That will greatly change our demographics, and we do not want that happening in our glorious state that absolutely zero people care about. Following the Biden administration's disastrously mismanaged withdrawal from Afghanistan, I wanted that we could not use this administration's incompetence to justify flooding our communities with unvetted refugees. Bro, what communities? You dumb hog motherfucker, bro. What the fuck? Like, bro, this is what Montana looks like, okay? I mean, it's actually pretty beautiful, but Let me find one. Let me find a video that's not like just nature. This is it, dude. This is. You want to know the number one? You want to know the biggest fucking population in Montana, dude? You want to know the number one fucking population in Montana? It's this, bro. It's literally just fucking this, okay? That's it. The fuck do you mean? It's just like open pasture and cattle. It is a really beautiful state, by the way. I mean, all jokes aside, it is a absolutely beautiful fucking state. But, you know, nobody gives a fuck. Like, it's nuts that this fucking idiot is like crying about 75 people coming into the state, dude. The traditional vetting process for these individuals is a 14-step procedure that takes well over a year. Mass evacuation of over 100,000 Afghan nationals in a matter of weeks was made proper vetting of these individuals damn near impossible. At this time, it appears extremely unlikely that the Biden administration properly vetted the Afghan nationals being resettled in Montana. Bro, literally, don't worry, okay? I mean, I said this, I already joked about this, but like, I mean, it's not even a joke. Like, it's really harmful to just like send them to fucking Montana, okay? I mean, send them somewhere cool. Like, what the fuck? If our vaccination rates increase in September, we can accept to see some sectors reopen, bars, cinemas. If the numbers remain low, people remain out of jobs. Let's silence anyone who speaks because we need the vax rates to increase so that we can go to the bars and cinemas. Yeah. I mean, she's right. Yeah, like literally, that's the correct thing to do. I don't know if she's being sarcastic or not, but yeah. Dude, I was gonna shit all over Montana like I always do about like Arkansas. You know what I mean? But Montana is a fucking beautiful ass state, dude. It really is. It's so pretty. Like, it fucking sucks. Like, there's so many hogs, but it's such a fucking nice ass state, dude. Wait, she doxed this Trinidad Trini reporter? What the fuck? Why? Arkansas and Kansas, but why is Kansas Arkansas and Kansas? I don't know. Missoula and Bozeman are really welcoming for refugees in rural Montana that sucks dick. It's not fair to make fun of Montana when they're not here. They haven't gotten internet yet. That's true. Montana is actually a lot like Afghanistan, more beautiful than people think, but no one goes there because it's difficult to navigate considering anywhere you want to go has a mountain in the way. Yeah. Someone is trying to correct me on my the way I pronounced Arkansas, and I find that very funny. No, it's Arkansas, dude. Shut up. Literally everyone knows that it's Arkansas. Why the fuck are you... Anyway. It's Arkansas. As elected officials, it's our duty to protect citizens. Yeah, fuck this guy. I mean, seriously. A fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Racist motherfucker. Okay, let's get to our top story of today. A drone strike against the suspected car bomb in Kabul turns out to have been a tragic blunder. Defense officials say investigation by CENTCOM determined the 8/29 strike killed an innocent aid worker along with 9 members of his family, including 7 children. So let's hear what the Pentagon had to say in their press briefing. Oopsie, that's what they had to say. Now, some of you remember this. I've talked about this extensively over the past couple of weeks. I talked about it when we didn't know, but we knew that like civilians had died. And they originally fucking lied about the bomb. Originally lied about saying like there was a secondary detonation that killed the family. Like, you know, that's just collateral damage. Oopsies. I talked about how fucking horrifying this is because this is exactly how 71,000 civilians like this and other actions that the United States took that was overall careless and personally awful and cruel. For no reason other than, doing shock and awe, just doing terrorism, basically. The only reason why, it was like this is because America is a terrorist state. They did a bunch of this shit. They did this shit over and over and over again. But the New York Times reporting was really good on this. So I guess they're admitting it. Let's hear what they had to say about the bombing that actually was never an ISIS militant, but instead a humanitarian aid worker, the U.S. drone strike on our way out of Afghanistan that killed an entire fucking family, including 7 babies.
Good afternoon. I'm here to brief the results of the investigation I directed following the report of civilian casualties from our strike in Kabul on 29 August. Having thoroughly reviewed the findings of the investigation and the supporting analysis by interagency partners, I am now convinced that as many as 10 civilians including up to 7 children, were tragically killed in that strike. Moreover, we now assess that it is unlikely that the vehicle and those who died were associated with ISIS-K or were a direct threat to U.S. forces. I offer my profound condolences to the family and friends of those who were killed. This strike was taken in the earnest belief that it would prevent an imminent threat to our forces and the evacuees at the airport. But it was a mistake, and I offer my sincere apology. As the combatant commander, I am fully responsible for this strike and this tragic outcome.
So distraught. Such sincere apologies.
Tell me I'm wrong, dude. So easy to get fucking mad at me for using spicy language.
Hi.
But how do you do this for 20 fucking years, dude? 20 fucking years of this kind of death and devastation as we point the finger at Afghans, as we point the finger at Muslim populations and say, oh, you're just radical and you're terrorist because of your terrorist ideology. How the fuck do you not create terror? How the fuck do you not take up arms against a violent imperialist state when we routinely pull shit like this? And guess what? This is one of the very few instances over the course of the past 20 fucking years where someone, an official, has actually taken accountability. In the overwhelming majority of cases, when the victims are Pakistani, when the victims are Afghan, America has never said anything. If anything, they've operated like Tesla. They'll like get you to shut the fuck up by giving you some hush money. These are voiceless people. These are powerless people. These are innocent people. All they want to do is survive. And they get caught up in our fucking madness because we're horny for war and we want to make money for our military contractors. It's absolutely disgusting. Okay? It's absolutely disgusting. It is impossible to comprehend if you have been blinded by American imperialist, jingoist ideology, if you've been blinded by American exceptionalism. It's so hard for you to understand the hatred that people feel against the terrorist state of the United States of America when we routinely engage in actions like this. I understand it. I really do. We are a force for evil. We're a force for evil. When kids in that fucking region have PTSD, they fear skies that are not cloudy because that means that drone strikes will occur. Like, we did that shit. We fucking did that. One of the worst fucking... It's so pure fucking evil, dude. Pure evil. What a perfect encapsulation of American foreign policy. We went in just as we went out of that country. In a fucking blinding rage. In a blinding rage that caused us to do untold amounts of fucking cruelty to civilians that did not deserve it, that just were chosen by us to be our victims. We turned around and we blew up a fucking family, dude. 7 babies running into their humanitarian aid worker father's car as they do every single day when they celebrate him returning from fucking work. We dropped a Hellfire missile into that courtyard and we fucking murdered that entire family. That's America. That's the shit that never gets coverage too. But if you're not from America, and I talked about this in the interview that I did earlier today, like, if you're not from America, and especially if you're from like Turkey or a subsequent like regional country, and obviously like Turkey is aligned with America, but even if you're not from America, you see that. You understand the fucking pain. You understand the frustration that people have towards it. America's in like super simplified, reductive terms, we are the playground bully. So that's why, like, that's why I always say, like, we are a racist ass nation. We're a white supremacist nation. That's why I showed you that fucking marshal that punched the black dude in the face when he was handcuffed. We do that here domestically. And of course we do endless amounts of cruelty to others.
Let's go, brother.
Overseas. Responsible for more death, destruction, and violence than any other fucking contemporary nation. And yes, that includes China too. I don't give a fuck. It's impossible. Part of the reason why the One Belt, One Road initiative can be so successful for China is because numerous other countries are like, of course we will fucking work with China. Are you kidding me? Of course. At least they're not fucking, you know, drone striking us, bombing us, murdering us. Yet, who knows what they'll do? But for the time being, they aren't doing that. So yeah. Fucking disgusting, dude. 13 soldiers died and their pictures are blasted everywhere in news media.
Thanks.
Yeah, when those 13 soldiers died in the blast, 170, I think, right? Or 100 plus Afghan civilians died too. And some of them died because we shot them. And we never even talked about it. Everybody was like, this is Biden's Benghazi. 13 soldiers died. Yeah. That sucks that we're sending fucking young men and women out there to do so much fucking violence. And then they ended up getting fucking blown up. Not a single mention of the Afghan civilians that died. And not from the explosion. From our bullets. Because in the fog of war, every brown person looks the same. It looks like they look like an enemy combatant. Our soldiers at the Kabul airport opened fire on a crowd of civilians that were trying to get away. A crowd of civilians, women, and children. They murdered Afghan collaborators. They murdered Afghan soldiers that were working side by side with them because they thought, oh shit, it's an attack. One of the Afghan translators that was trying to escape the country got shot in the back of the fucking neck by an American bullet. That's how he went out. That's what he got for working with the American military. Shot in the back of the fucking neck. Hit with an American bullet in the chaos that ensued. That's what you get. That's all we're capable of doing. No coverage on that, with the exception of one BBC article, with one BBC reporter talking about it. No other coverage. My family came to the U.S. through legal immigration. I would hope that's how everyone does it, but I'm not going to demonize desperate people who are risking their lives to give their family a better life. They're not illegals. They're brave men and women who believe in America. I don't know why Jenk is saying it like that. Yeah, but it's for the greater good. Like what? What greater good? You think getting the rest of the fucking you think getting the world angry and want to fucking do 9/11s every goddamn day to the United States is a good thing? Is that what you think? What do you think happens when your fucking family member dies after working with the U.S. forces in the middle of a fucking crowded street because American forces opened fire on him and murdered him? Greater good is killing fucking aid workers and their entire families? That's the greater good? What is good? There's not a single fucking thing that the United States has ever done that's good with respect to our imperialist endeavors. Not a single fucking thing. Dude, how fucked up is it? I mean, I talked about this earlier, that U.S. aid, okay, our aid is utilized to radicalize Mujahideen Islamist fundamentalists. Like, think about that for a second. Even when we're giving motherfuckers books, we're literally nefariously trying to get them to become a force for evil, dude. We've never done anything good, ever. U.S. aid is like literally an arm for the CIA. We put guns inside of fucking food crates so we can give it to murderous fascist militant groups, man. That's what U.S. aid does. You fucking kidding me? A force for good my ass, dude. Kurds in Iraq disagree. Kurds in Iraq disagree. That's fucking bullshit, dude. That's not even fucking true. Kurds in Iraq are so desperate that they know full well that the United States is going to fucking withdraw aid and then allow Turkey to come in and just fucking roll over them. They know that and they still work with the United States because they have no other option. But ask any fucking Kurd in Iraq and they'll tell you, like, yeah, of course, they abandon us all the time. Yeah, Kurds in Iraq, what's up? Like, the northern autonomous region is like the one area, but outside of that, where's the fucking Kurdish nation state? U.S. aid doesn't do any good is a silly, unserious position. Dude, I don't... Taking out Gaddafi was good? Bro, is this guy memeing? This is the same fucking guy that, like, got his butt cheeks clapped when he said 72,000. That's not true. I'm assuming they want to deter China from assuming an aggressive posture against Taiwan. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Olumeo KW, taking out Gaddafi was good? Really, dude? You think taking out Gaddafi was good? What's happening in fucking Libya now, dude? You think Libya's in a good place? I love open air slave markets. I love utilizing propaganda to make it seem like every fucking African migrant that lived in Libya is actually a terrorist, so we can justify selling them, like literally selling them. I fucking love that, dude. Is that what you're saying? Is that your take? It's so tight, dude. Stopping Iraq from invading Kuwait was good. Yeah, totally. USA does a ton of good work. USA doesn't do any good work. Is a silly, unserious position. All the aid is conditional. And all the aid is to continue things that are better than if Gaddafi had fought a civil war and slaughtered 200K in What? Gaddafi was going to slaughter 200K in Benghazi? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What kind of delusional fantasy universe are you living in? Who the fuck was Gaddafi fighting against, too? That he completely had fucking under control. How dare we have any sort of like, how dare we have any sort of fucking take on like what other foreign nations can and can't do with respect to their own airspace? 8 months in this community, how the fuck do you have such dog shit concern, neocon ass fucking takes, dude? Yeah, dude, it was so sick. Operation Desert Storm, massive success. When I think about the Highway of Death, an internationally recognized war crime where the United States literally had guns and they were like, we got to use them somewhere. So let's just use them on retreating fucking armless soldiers and refugee children and just bomb an entire fucking highway length of random fucking babies and parents and retreating men. I think of excellent shit that we did. A defensive war on the behest of a government is just. You haven't given a single fucking example of a defensive war that's justifiable so far. So you're wrong on that, okay? Libya is literally demonstrably in a worse place now, post-Gaddafi. I know what he's going to say. He's going to say World War II. That's the only thing he can say. There's nothing else he can say. We're still riding the waves of World War II as we piggybacked off of the tremendous amount of fucking pain that the USSR was able to take on. We're still piggybacking off of that. It's so tight. Yeah, defensive war is when you fucking destroy Libya and every other country. Gaddafi won the civil war. The death toll was estimated by Human Rights Watch as 400-ish. But yeah, he was going to kill hundreds of thousands in a country he'd run for decades. Yeah, totally, dude. They destroyed the potable water supply in order for France to come in and privatize water in Africa. Yep. Korean War was a just war. Yeah, dude, I love doing genocide in North Korea and destroying all manner of infrastructure. That's my justifiable war. Is genocide in Korea was so justifiable. Do you guys got more, dude? Oh man, there's got to be some more. There's got to be some, right? I mean, fuck. I love bombing parts of Korea and you know, engaging in genocide to a degree where like it took like 30, 40, 50 fucking years to recover. Vietnam? Yeah, again, love doing genocide. So good. Oh my God. Especially in southern Vietnam, which is so weird. Literally using chemical weapons that have such a devastating, long-lasting effect that, like, there are still children that are being born with severe fucking disabilities, dude. That's what we did in Vietnam. Go ahead. Oh my God, there's got to be some more, dude. I love, like, Americans, name a justifiable war that does not involve World War II challenge. It's just, you can't. Like, there is none. Literally just war. It's literally just war theory 101. Is there a view that there are no defensive wars? There are defensive wars. The Taliban is engaging in a defensive war. Okay? The North Vietnamese army is engaging in a defensive war. And they succeeded. Those are defensive wars. Those are justifiable acts against imperialism. It's 100%. I do not agree with, well, not the North Vietnamese, but I do not agree with the Taliban. But, you know, that is a justifiable war. That is a defensive action against an imperialist state that's coming in and trying to fucking murder all your people. Ever since World War I and World War II, we think we're always the good guys in a war. We had momentum and we never stopped them. It's just hero mindset. I'm surprised someone hasn't said bombing of Yugoslavia yet. Like this guy got like all the talking points, but like the one talking point that's like that's the one talking point that we're not at. Like I'm surprised here. Let me give you a better talking point. In the future, you can say bombing Yugoslavia was justifiable. That's the only one that you can use as like actionable. And even then, it's like, you know, even then it's questionable. Yeah, no, Kuwait is not acceptable. We just watched Bitter Lake like a month ago. Boiling down wars to just, unjust, black and white is create situations like Afghanistan. I mean, there is no justifiable action. There's no justifiable course of action in any of those areas. Like, how the fuck do you say that we're doing a defensive war in foreign countries, man? Like, it's so fucking stupid. There is no defensive war in a foreign country. I agree. It's a justified war. Yugoslavia was the right move. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You just literally, I just told you about that. American imperialist who is having such a fucking hard time coming up with like a singular fucking instance that he can defend a position. It's like, yeah, no, it's totally good. Oh yeah, dude? I gave you that talking point, bitch. You can't come back in here and be like, that's, and it's not even justifiable. It's just defensible to a certain fucking degree. And even then, it's like not great that we, you know, pump the country full of fucking lead. Jesus Christ, dude. Why do I have so many fucking DHS cutouts in here? It's disgusting. Please stop, dude. Please learn. Like, look, if you want to make a living doing death and destruction over fucking seas, okay, that's one thing. But like, you don't have to fucking try to defend it in here. It's not gonna happen. I gave you multiple examples. No, like the Kuwait one is not a justifiable. No, Kuwait is not justifiable. Repelling a foreign army falls squarely under a defensive war. I don't give a fuck what poli-sci 101 term you're coming in here with, you dumb fuck. Oh my god, dude, your dumbass like ex-CIA political science professor is like, it's actually justifiable. That doesn't matter. There's an endless amount of fucking human casualty associated with the actions that you're thinking are justifiable that are not justifiable. Like, and it was done for fucking oil too, so shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much, dude. How the fuck can you how can you defend a genocidal, bloodthirsty state like the United States? And you have been moving the fucking goalpost over and over again. Every single time I fucking give you an example of like, I describe to you how bad your example is, you add a new one. Every time I'm like, nope, that's unacceptable. You go, oh, the Spring Rising did good? No, it did no good, dude. What the fuck? Look at any of the fucking Arab Spring countries. Are you stupid? Yeah, I love, dude, it's so good. So fucking good. Remember when Turkey almost had its own Arab Spring moment, dude? That would have been so tight. The fucking coup attempt by Fethullah Gulen. Careful, dude. This dude has an e-subscription to foreign policy. Still feels like foreign policy is the area of politics where self-described leftists will sound like Donald Rumsfeld or Hillary Clinton. I mean, I don't think this dude is a leftist. I'm shocked if he is. I think he's just like another... I'm an attorney who went to law school to study national security law and international humanitarian law. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, dude. Yeah, it's definitely a leftist chat. Look, I love having a unique audience like this. I love that. I do. Yeah, Saddam's army was so fucking so scary, and they were gonna do so much, and that's why they immediately retreated, like literally immediately. And then we ended up bombing the retreating forces. Yeah, I know he's defending U.S. aid. It's a psychotic thing to do. Okay. Here's a foreign policy. Here, I'll use a blog that you probably love, you know? I'll use some media sources. Cuban Twitter and other times USAID pretended to be an intelligence agency. Remember when USAID tried to start Cuban Twitter? Like they tried to start a Twitter for Cuba and then failed spectacularly at it? Remember when USAID tried to also start a rap uprising in Cuba as well? You guys remember that? That was really funny when they were like, we're going to give money to like Cuban rappers to rap about how much fucking Castro sucks. Oh, Jesus Christ. Foreign governments have long accused the U.S. Agency for International Development of being a front for the CIA or other groups dedicated to their collapse. In the case of Cuba, they appear to have been right. In an eye-opening display of incompetence, the United States covertly launched a social media platform in Cuba in 2010. For Bro, why did you get this law school education when you could have just come in here and I could have told you exactly what the fuck was up? You just had like all your professors just lie to you because they are also a part of the same industry. Well, I guess you're going to be a part of that industry too. An eye-opening display of, yeah, here, hey man, listen, when you recognize the harmful actions that you're taking, if you are working for USAID, I can give you a signal number. There is a wonderful friend of the show. His name is Ken Klippenstein, aka Ken Leakenstein. You can just reach out to him when you grow a conscience and your morals actually get in the way of the actions that you're engaging in. You know, probably in Africa, I assume, because that's like where we're waging a lot of war. Maybe, hey, maybe in the Indo-Pacific. You know, that's another area where you know, we will probably be doing a lot of aid. Okay. You know, any of those opportunities where you're like, fuck, man, this is kind of messed up. We're just like giving guns to, I mean, I don't even fucking know who we would do that to. But hey, you know, it's
I want to date you badly.
Just, you know, there's a signal number that you can leak information to. Parties not authorized to represent moral entities are blaspheming them by misrepresenting them in insulting ways and defending them of their moral lawyers. What? Yeah, he's like, kind of weird that we were just like giving some. We were just like, I thought we were just like feeding, you know, children, and turns out it's like, you know, we're giving guns to kids in Boko Haram. It's like, I don't know. And of course, you know, there's a lot of Islamic activity in the region. If you want to know what USAID is doing now,
a good time.
US-backed opposition groups continue to carry out deadly campaigns of terrorism and militancy across the Southeast Asian country of Myanmar. The current crisis jeopardizes regional peace and stability and is being used to deliberately block China's Belt and Road Initiative. Yeah, that makes sense. U.S.-funded propaganda outlets in Myanmar, specifically Myanmar Now, has attempted to spin the brazen terrorism as heroic resistance. Ultimately, however, it is the opposition itself that admits to conducting terrorism up to and including the deliberate targeting of medical personnel. Okay, I need to look into it more. I can't just like fucking drop this random YouTube channel in here, but that does make sense. Notice the goalpost moved again to USAID's main thing not being foreign intelligence. Yeah, totally, dude. Guys, yeah, the USAID was good unconditionally, and now it's no longer good unconditionally, but like they're just like, you know, they're not exclusively doing you know, foreign State Department stuff. It's just they're unwitting participants. If you work at USAID, just look for the logistics specialists that come in not knowing anyone and leave about 2 to 3 months later on another assignment. Wave hello to one of my former colleagues. Oh, this guy. Alan Gross is a United States government contractor employed by the United States Agency for International Development. In December, dude, like USAID is like Pete Buttigieg, okay?
Yeah, no more.
USAID is like exactly like Pete Buttigieg. That's the best way to describe it. Just fucking clearly there. It has no business being there, whichever country we're talking about, whether it's in Africa or whether it's like Afghanistan. Gay? Yes. USAID is just more like US gay. Fucking got him. What? No.
9 months and I still haven't used debate comment.
The USAID, more like US gay. Everywhere. Like, has no business being there, suspiciously has a map of minerals, okay? And then everybody celebrates you for fucking, you know, doing something. You're doing aid. Anyway. In December 2009, he was arrested in Cuba while working on a program funded under the 1996 Helms-Burton Act, which was explicitly called to overthrow Castro's government. He was prosecuted in 2011 after being accused of crimes against the Cuban state for furtively bringing military-grade communications equipment designed to evade detection to members of Cuba's Jewish community. After being accused for working for the American Intelligence Service in January 2010, he was convicted of spying and for acts against the independence and territorial integrity of the state in March 2011. U.S. sources widely reject the idea that Gross was a spy, though some noted of the covert nature of Gross's mission. Bro, bro, he was not a spy. Trust us, okay? Gross noted in his field reports his awareness of the risks he was taking in his mission. But what was his mission? He was released from Cuban prison on December 17, 2014, and returned to the U.S. in exchange for the release and return of 3 Cubans convicted of espionage. While serving his prison sentence, his wife, Judy Gross, sued the Development Alternatives Incorporated and USAID for $60 million in federal court. The company settled for an undisclosed sum. The amount is in addition to the $3.2 million that USAID agreed to pay Gross and AI in November before his release. Oh shit, dude. If you got 4 footnotes saying you're probably a spy, you probably are a spy, yes. Bro, come on. I'm fucking Ponchy Poncho, my uncle. That's my uncle. It's true. It was super fucked up for my family. What the fuck? Your uncle is a spy, bro. Your uncle's a counter-revolutionary spy. I'm glad your family hit a devious lick, though, if you know what I'm saying. What is this? 12-year-old boy calls out homophobia while playing video games, and it's amazing? No way.
I know, but she's gay, and you blatantly said you don't support LGBT, or you don't support gay people. Oh, so you don't support LGBTQ. You realize LGBTQ isn't...
Damn, that's a young Hasanabi head in the wild, boys. That's it. It's one of you guys. This has to be fake. Yeah, I don't know. Like 12-year-old white kid fucking defending LGBT. Surprised he didn't say LG. Yeah, he's not an Aiden Ross. He's not an Aiden Ross fan.
Only gay. You know, it's lesbian, trans. If you're trans, that doesn't mean you're still gay. So you're saying if you're trans, you're basically just still a guy? No, it's not. Maybe they didn't want to be.
Kids already got the fucking bi stance. So chatters were saying bi erasure. Guess what, dude? Look at the way the kid's sitting. That's right. He's bi sitting.
A woman or a male. It's their decision. What's the matter with that? No, like I genuinely do care because I do want to have this argument. That's fucked up. So you don't like them. Like, if someone was gay, you'd stop being friends with them?
What the fuck? This can't be a real video. He never said the N word, so I don't understand. I don't understand how this works. I'm just kidding.